So managing your cookie consent well today is such an integral part of our performance marketing strategy in e-commerce that I named this number 8 out of 15 in our e-commerce series. And you really need to crack that cookie. If you can't get people to consent to your tracking, then you are in a really tough spot. This is an example of wish.com, a Chinese e-commerce store which has gotten really popular, and you can see this teeny tiny little consent option at the bottom. It is not actually really required to press. You can see with the plugins here that Google Analytics is tracking, Facebook's already firing, other pixel are firing. Chinese companies are not yet as sensitized towards data privacy concerns as we are here because of the recent and of course also older changes in the privacy laws. It is simply not an option for us today to just have a 5% opt-in rate because you will not be able to see what people are doing on your website after they clicked. Yes, you get your data from your shop. That is a good thing that you have some true data in your shop analytics, but Facebook won't know what's happening. Google Ads can't conversion optimize itself. So it's not an option for us. We need to get real about cookie consent management. This is a screenshot from my own cookie banner from Ball Labs on my WordPress website. Sadly, this is only a WordPress only solution. One of the most important thing that this does for me, it shows me how many people have just chosen the essential cookies, which is essentially opting out, and the people who have decided to use media and marketing cookies. And you can see that maybe like 30–40% of people opted into my cookie tracking. Of course, my audience is pretty tech savvy and maybe doesn't want to be tracked as much because we understand how much tracking goes on in the background. So I completely understand, but for fuck's sake, please opt into my cookies. What you want, consent, is to be in your face. Here is how my Ball Labs cookie consent looks. It darkens the website, it is in the center, it is set up per default to just essentials, but the main call to action is to save all cookies. And you can check this out at pirateskills.com/workshops if you want to take a look, or just check it out on the balllabs.io website. It pops up there as well. Of course, designed differently. I've seen as high as 80% opt-in rate with the Ball Labs cookie in less tech-savvy audiences, and it actually tells you how many people opted in. So you can make experiments on your cookie design and see where you get actually more opt-ins. Let's look at some best practice examples. Here we have Zalando. They had like 36 cookies running at the same time on their website. They have really gotten serious about their cookie consent policy and what they're tracking and what they are not tracking anymore. And they have chosen this half-covered website, so people are not that tempted to just surf on the website without making a decision. Also, check out what they're doing on the mobile experience. It's highly suggestive to make a decision here so you have it out of your way and you can start your shopping experience. From the low bar at the bottom of the site, cookie banners, I like this one very much. Let's look at Etsy. Etsy is very internationally minded and an interesting place to look at. They have decided for the central in-your-face solution without your option to use the website in the background. They do not have an opt-out option, but just accepting and updating. And I think getting a high number of people to make a decision here is very likely because there is no option not to make a decision. There is no little X here that tells you just to click it away, or no button that tells you, no, I don't want any tracking. That doesn't exist here. It's a smart thing. You still have to remember they are not an EU company, and we still have to wait what is going to be really allowed and what not. So I just wanted to share some good best practice examples that I personally like. And now you have to make a choice, like what kind of cookie consent tool do I use? And first rule is do not make compromises on user experience in your tool. If you can't design it, if you can't make reasonable experiments, if it does look like crap, don't use it, even if it's compatible with your system. But that's the second thing. You need to pick a solution for your system. They are constantly changing. You need to try some different ones until you find something that you like for your Shopify, your WooCommerce, whatever store you're using. Or you can roll your own solution, of course, which is more expensive to set up initially, but might be just the user experience you're looking for. I want you to be able to measure your consent rate. It's not personal data. If you're just tracking how many people clicked on yes, how many on no, yeah, on a browser window. So try to measure, like I showed you with the ball example on my own website, how many people just choose the essentials or opted out, and how many people chose your marketing cookies. And you need to aim for about 50% and more. Depending on your audience, you can reach as high as 90% cookie consent opt-in rate, realistically these times, but you need to optimize this over time. So cookie consent optimization is now part, for me, of conversion rate optimization. You need to start looking at it with this attitude and not just as this ugly banner that you have to slap onto your website that doesn't matter much. If you want to hear more about this kind of stuff, and I want to talk about this more in the future and what kind of cookie acceptance banners are working for me in projects that I'm working in, then subscribe to our YouTube channel and I will keep you notified. All right, so now we have got the basics of managing our cookie consent well. We are ready to actually do what we wanted to do, to be able to learn faster, to see in our reports what changes actually lowered our cost per acquisition, which changes increased our customer lifetime value. So better reporting and faster learning is coming right up.